Deep within a leaked internal meeting transcript dated August 9, 2020, labeled NACT 8920, lies a blueprint of an organization attempting to integrate directly into state infrastructure. The group conducting the briefing is the Keshe Foundation, or KFM, a fringe alternative health and scientific organization. The meeting notes document a contradiction. The foundation's leadership is managing localized internal collapses while claiming aggressive state-level expansion abroad. By synthesizing this briefing, we can map KFM's operational matrix. This data reveals their strategy for pivoting from a fractured community into an institutionalized force. Treating this text as primary source intelligence, without validating their pseudoscience, gives an unfiltered look at their strategic ambitions. KFM's foundational claim in the transcript is administrative. They announce they have successfully registered as an active corporate entity within Iran. To deploy their technology, they must bypass the traditional medical infrastructure, characterizing the Iranian Ministry of Health as corrupt and reliant on bribes. They face a secondary obstacle at the executive level. KFM leadership describes the Iranian president as incompetent, noting that his religious status as an Ayatollah makes him politically protected and difficult to circumvent. To navigate this establishment, KFM secured a direct structural bypass, operating officially as a civil defense unit. This specific bureaucratic status grants hundreds of their officers enforcement capabilities, effectively providing legal immunity to enter protected state facilities. Leveraging this access, the organization logs a physical deployment claim, stating they have penetrated 2 major hospitals, actively treating heads of state and their families. The briefing notes a tactical change here. Instead of sending amateur followers, known internally as knowledge seekers, into people's homes, KFM is now training professional nurses directly inside hospital wards. The organization is attempting a systemic bureaucratic bypass. They are weaponizing an ongoing crisis to institutionalize themselves within the sovereign infrastructure of Iran. To support this physical deployment, KFM outlines an extensive public relations strategy. They claim to be running a state-backed television, radio, and internet campaign designed to frame the foundation as a peaceful, leading scientific group. The visual strategy for this campaign is deliberate. The leadership claims they are actively embedding the foundation's identity directly into Iranian national symbols. The briefing lists several pending media publications to bolster this image, including the immediate release of Book 1, a publication in the Plasma Time Journal, and an upcoming VIP exhibition targeted at foreign ambassadors. Their central, outward-facing medical claim relies on the deployment of a specific regimen they call the One Drop, One Life protocol. The stated goal of this protocol is absolute. By manufacturing and distributing this alternative medicine at zero cost, KFM claims they will shut down global pharmaceutical businesses. The briefing also logs rigid timelines for their auxiliary research. Leadership promises a new spaceflight system launch for September and directs followers to prepare for a global food shortage in October. KFM utilizes these media and technological claims to project an image of national dominance, positioning their trajectory as a predetermined success. While KFM projects state-level integration in Iran, the internal reality is fracturing. Severe organizational crises are actively erupting within their Italian and Brazilian communities. The transcript identifies the catalyst for this crisis as a scandal involving the leadership's private life, referred to dismissively as a human failure. The fallout from this event is severe. Members are writing radical allegations, directly blaming the head of the foundation for deaths that occurred in Italy. Amidst this chaos, the Brazilian community demanded empirical validation. They specifically requested the Portuguese translation of KFM's scientific papers to verify the technology. KFM leadership's documented response is total rejection. They explicitly state the scientific translation doesn't really matter and will not help the Brazilians promote the technology. To regain control, leadership executes an ideological pivot. Instead of providing scientific proof, they enforce strict adherence to vague soul teachings. This soul pivot serves as a crisis management tool. KFM relies on mystical ideology to rapidly shut down empirical scrutiny from its own fractured membership. Zooming out from these localized schisms, the transcript catalogs KFM's remaining international claims and their efforts to decentralize operations. They log a high-level geopolitical claim, an alleged formal invitation from the Chinese leadership for a permanent return and partnership. Financially, they document pending moves in Europe, anticipating a large-scale investment from an entity called Eastern Globe directly into their Dutch operational base. In North America, they outline a regional restructuring effort, explicitly designating Arizona as a core R&D hub intended to link U.S. research with Iranian operations. Finally, the briefing issues an internal directive for grassroots mobilization, commanding followers to restart public teaching workshops globally on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. These decentralized claims serve to maintain a facade of international momentum. They keep the remaining followers engaged, despite localized organizational collapses. Bringing all four intelligence sectors together reveals the complete organizational matrix generated directly from the August 2020 transcript. The map exposes a calculated dual strategy. Internally, the organization demands strict, blind ideological compliance to survive structural schisms. Externally, they contrast this by projecting institutional legitimacy to sovereign states. The mapping reveals an attempt to weaponize an ongoing crisis, transitioning the organization from a fractured alternative ideology into an immune, enforceable state entity. By rigorously mapping these claims without validating the pseudoscience, OCENT researchers gain a rare, exhaustive blueprint of how fringe groups attempt systemic institutional takeovers.